Welcome my friends, we're talking about how to use dragons at Town Hall 8. The first one is the correct way. I'm going to show a second attack, how you should not use dragons, and actually how to funnel as well. So again, dragons are a little bit dumb. You got to realize if you're new to Town Hall 8, dragons go to any building on the whole map. So what you want to do, as he did, let me pause it. He started dragons at 12 o'clock and at 9 o'clock. So those are called funnel loons. So what they do is they take out the side buildings up top. That means when he puts these dragons in the middle, they will naturally path inside the base. If you just put them all down across the line up top or even in one spot, the dragons will they'll drift off. So they'll just kind of circle around the base, and you don't want that, because if dragons circle around the base, they're just killing trash units, killing trash, the trash buildings, and they're not actually taking down the defenses inside the base. Now, do you have to use the lightning trick? No, you don't. You don't have to use the lightning trick. Sometimes also it's nice to bring to drop a dragon and bring another 4 of your own loons if you want. But typically you don't always need to do that. You can just bring all dragons and then CC loons. That will enable things to go well. But maybe sometimes there's air defenses in a tricky spot and you need those extra loons to take it down, because on these dragon hits, look, see how he pathed everything? Look at that. Pathed everything pretty much perfectly, and still some of the dragons drifted off. You see how these dragons are just drifting off? Look over here. There's nothing over here. They can't get to the defenses. So again, when you're looking at a dragon hit, figure out where you want to enter on a base. Typically, you want to enter on a base the closest you can get to the air defenses. You don't want to come opposite side the air defenses, because that means they'll hit your dragons longer, if that makes sense. So I'll push the replay on this, and I'll tell you why he entered in on this base and how to go about it. Now, you definitely also don't want to go into a sweeper. Try to avoid the sweeper. So if he has a sweeper, see, look at this. So he could have zap quaked this one over here or that one, but then that meant he would have had to come into the sweeper. Does it make sense? Don't go into the sweeper like that, guys. That's not going to help you. So go behind the sweeper so it won't blow your dragons away, and then zap quake he could have zap quaked either the southern one or the back one behind the king, but I like the back one behind the king because it's the furthest away. So the dragons can get to these 2 air defenses much quicker than the one behind. Now let me show you an attack that is bad dragon placement. Now this is what you don't want to do. This is called spamming dragons in, and you're not even creating a funnel. Eater here, you see this? If you are doing this hoping, thinking your dragons do better in mass form together, it's true, dragons have power together, but if you don't have that funnel down, look what's going to happen. Not going to 3-star this base, and because, see? The dragons, all they did was shift around the outside. They are not taking down the defenses, like this air defense in the middle. He put his loons in a bad spot. The reason why those loons aren't good is because, look, they were off all by themselves. What you want to do is have your dragons in front of the loons, protecting them, and then the loons come behind the dragons, and they'll take out the defenses. So they kind of work in unison. But look at this. You see how they're just going around the base? This is not good. This is not funneling. This is not ever going to get you the 3-star. Now, you might get lucky and get a 3-star, like I'll show you on my base. They did get lucky. Just because my base defenses weren't maxed out. So maybe if you don't have maxed out defenses, you can spam them in and get lucky. But again, that's not what you want to do. You want to make sure you funnel those dragons. Now let me show you this little luck attack here. Just because he did the exact same thing, but he got lucky in getting my base down. See, look, no funnel, guys. Now if you were to hit my base, see, the best way to funnel would be, probably zap quake this back air defense and then come from 12 to 9. You put 2 dragons up here by the army camp and the dark barracks, and then 2 more dragons by this army camp and 1 on that elixir storage. Let them funnel it and then put the dragons here in the core, and that way they will shift on in and take out the base. Now the only reason he got mine down is because, see, my defenses, not even max towers, not even max archer towers, air defenses, not even max Teslas, not all of them are max Teslas. So again, on a lower weight base, you can do the spam attack in, but he got that 3-star. And let's just move onward, shall we? Let me show you another attack from NeoGar, showing us how to dragon these bases. Now lots of different ways, and lots of different bases to take this down. Now this one, look, maxed out Town Hall 8. I think all the archer towers are maxed out. Everything's pretty much the wizard towers. So a tough base, it can be tough, these max Town Hall 8s, if you don't funnel right. You see, let me pause it. You see how he put dragon on this army camp and then on this one? Outside in, you always work outside in. He put a dragon up here and a dragon right there. That means those side dragons are creating the funnel. So he can put the dragons here in the core and they will push inside the base. Now, so it helps the dragons get to these air defenses, because that's what you have to get to. When you're using dragon attacks, you have to get to the air defenses as quickly as possible. And if you don't get there as quickly as possible, well, you're going to end up failing miserably. Yes, indeedly do. Failing catastrophically. But Neogar was like, you know what? I know how to funnel. And yes, he does know how to funnel. He smashed it, smoked it, turned it upside down, and he said, yeah. Now, you can bring back in loons. Now, if you were to bring back in loons and drop a dragon, what you would do is, bring them for structures like these archer towers. Now, you don't always have to do this, but say he had 4 loons, he could go 2 here and then 2 on that archer tower. So as the archer towers are locked onto his dragons, that's when you bring in the back in loons, because they're being protected by the dragons, and then they go to the defenses. Again, loons, if you didn't know already, loons go to only defensive buildings. They don't go to the trash buildings, just the defensive buildings, just like hogs. But Neogar showing us that 3-starring at Town Hall 8 with dragons, lightning spell action does have its wonders, does have its beauty. And let me show you one more attack from a dragon. Monster Mike coming in hot. Monster Mike coming in hot. Now on this base, what would I do? Now let's see if actually Monster Mike puts his king by this air defense. Now this would be a smart move. You could, you wouldn't even have to do a zap quake there. You could do a couple hogs on the outside if you want. Since these air defenses are on the outside, you don't have to do bring the zap quake. He could have used a couple hogs and that would have been worth it. So King is going to be doing some action. He did not get this down. Oh, did he get it down? Oh, he didn't. He did not get it down. Maybe he should have had a tank or something there, or brought a couple more loons. Did not get that air defense down, but it's not the end of the world. His king also did not get down this air defense. So with that, you could obviously bring some hogs. You could drop a few loons if you want. Honestly, in this circumstance, instead of doing the loons there, I would have actually brought 4 hogs. The 4 hogs would have taken down that air defense, or 5 hogs for sure, without a doubt would have. So you definitely could do that to get this air defense down, since they're on the outside. You don't have to go in with the air as far as the loons. I would have brought the hogs, and then on this side you could have brought a king and maybe 1 hog. Yes, you're not bringing as many dragons, but the thing is, or hog the top end, you'd have your spells, and you'd take down all the air defenses. The only thing that can stop dragons are air defenses. This base is totally smashed. It doesn't matter. There's no way this defender is going to win or defend against this attack, because even archer towers cannot kill all these dragons. It's just impossible. There's too many of them up for it to happen. And there you go. A nice 3-star attack. A little at the beginning, he might have been a little bit nervous, didn't get those air defenses down as he thought, so it wasn't as destructive as it could have been, but still in the end, 4 dragons up, not shabby indeed. Way to go, Monster Mike, showing us from Clan Ice Bears that dragons are back in style. Get on out there, try to get those air defenses down no matter what. Enter in, funnel on the sides, enter on the closest side to the air defenses, and it will go well for you. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Halo.